Hello students, welcome back to my channel. So we were learning about implementing the SQL commands, whichever we have studied in the previous sessions. So the last two sessions we have learned around 10 to 11 of them. And today we will be continuing the same implementation of SQL. So today we will be looking at the group by commands and everything related to the group by clause. Okay, so what is this group by? Just like the name says, group by is a command where we are going to group the number of records what we are having according to the condition given. So this clause is used to in collaboration with the select statement to arrange identical data into groups. Okay, the group by clause follows the where clause in select statement and precedes the order by clause. Now this order by clause we have started in the previous session. We can club together order by and group by in a select statement using the where clause. So how do I do that? So the syntax for that is I will say select. So whichever column I want to use in my group by, remember this, the column which I'm using in group by and order by should be same in the same order. And those columns only I will be able to select. Now here you cannot say that select star and here you cannot use some other column. So that is the main condition here, because try to understand the concept here. What exactly is happening is, for example, I have an employee ID where I have employee name and I have city and I have salary. Okay. And let me also add a department here. So if I'm saying department is here, then I'm going to have n number of records here. Suppose there is IT, two people are belonging to IT, one is belonging to HR, two people are belonging to HR, there is one more from finance. So in such situation, what is going to happen is, so when I'm saying that group by, I'm going to get the records. If at all I'm grouping using group by conditions, suppose I'm saying group by department, then all my records will be grouped according to the department. So in this case, I'm going to group IT together, I'm going to group HR together, and I'm going to group the finance together. So in this case, I cannot say select star or I cannot give any other column name. I have to give the column names of that particular group by condition itself. So that is why here it is saying column 1, column 2, the same column numbers we will give. And also order by column. So I can only order by the column according to which I have grouped them. Okay, so that is what is the concept here. So in order to use the group by clause, I will use this particular syntax. I will say select column according to which I want to group from the table name. Then I will use the where. You can use a condition. So here you can use a condition. For example, you can say employee number is equal to so and all those things. You can say that. And then again, group by what? Group by whether it is department, whether it is salary, whether it is city. Any column you can use. You can use multiple columns as well. But remember to use those columns in your select as well as order by, if at all using the order by. Okay. So this is how it will work. So you should remember. So we will do the practicals of that now. So it will be easy for us to understand. So under this group by functions, we have different group functions. So group functions are built-in SQL functions that operate on groups of rows and return one value for the entire group. So what is the meaning of this? So here, whatever the grouping we are doing, according to that, we can calculate certain group functions we can apply and we can use them. So those functions are count, where we are going to count the number of records present in that group. Max is the maximum of that particular record according to whichever column. For example, if I say maximum of salary, then it will display the maximum salary. In this case, it will display the maximum salary in this particular group. If at all I have grouped it according to the department, then in IT department, whoever is working, what is the maximum salary? Similarly, minimum, average, sum, and distinct. Distinct is nothing but which is not repeated. Okay, so the very first one is SQL count. So how does it work? So this function returns the number of rows in the table that satisfies the conditions specified in the where condition. So it is going to count the number of rows. For example, if I use here select along with this, if I'm using a count, so for IT, I will get a count as 2, and for HR, I will get a count as 2, and for finance, I will get a count as 1. So that is what we are talking about. So if you want the total number of the employees in the table, then the query would be select count star. So you can use a star here from employee. Okay, so this is how we can do that. Or else if you want of that particular department, then I can say count of department from employee. By doing this also, I will get the count of the department. Star, when I say, it is going to count all the data of that particular table. So what about distinct? So distinct is nothing but where it is not repeated. Function is used to select the distinct rows. When I say distinct, it is not duplicate. It will not count the duplicate values. If at all I have an employee, if at all I'm counting the number of people working or number of department in an employee record. So there may be situation where two people are working for IT. So if at all I'm using this thing, it'll omit one and it'll count only one. So with that, we will get a proper count. So it totally depends on the scenarios where you're using such queries. So for example, if you want to select all the distinct department names from employee table, the query would be select distinct department from employee. Okay. And if you want to count it, then you can say select count. So inside the bracket, you can write distinct. If you write here department from employee, this is going to count the non-repeated values of the department and it is going to display. So that is how it will count and give us the value. Next is maximum. So this function is used to get the maximum value from a column. So how am I going to use it? Select maximum. For example, here it is used salary from employee. So like that, we can use the maximum command. Similarly, if I want to find out the minimum, then I will use the select minimum of salary from employee. Average is going to find out the average of that salary. So here, remember, you can also use group by. After this, you can use the group by clause. Right? And then sum is nothing but it is going to add the values of that particular column. So here, if it is a salary you're using, it is going to add the salary of all the employees and it is going to show us. So these are the different group by functions which we have to learn. Right? Now quickly do the practical of these and see how it works. So let us use the same table which we have used in the previous classes, which is person. So select start from person. Let me just display how does the table look like. So this is how it is looking like. So group by function, let us use one by one. So first let me select. I will select, let me see, I will select city. Okay, select city from person. I will not use any condition. Directly I will say group by city. So as you can see, when I say this, select city from person, group by city, though in my table I have 5 records where I have Bangalore, Shimoga, Bangalore, and Udupi. The repeated values, it is not giving, it is grouping them together. So Bangalore has been grouped. Since other values doesn't have any other value as in repeated similar values, they are going to be shown as it is. Okay. If at all I have a bigger table where I have for example, 4 records belonging to the same city, 10 records belonging to the same city, you will get a clear picture. Probably you can try that at home. So here, try to understand that I have grouped this table. I have selected only cities, but when I use the group clause, it is going to group them. For example, let me just try removing this group by clause and let us see what output I'm getting. So you all know we will get the entire column, all the records. But when I use group by, I'm going to get only that particular grouped values. Okay, let us use the same thing. Instead of city, let me use salary. Select salary from person. By okay, I'm getting 3 records. What is meaning? Because I have here 25,000 and 25,000 twice. So it has been grouped together. 35,000 and 35,000 has been grouped together. And then single 30,000 has been shown. So this is how group by clause works. Now, let us use the group by functions. Okay, the very first one we are going to use is count. So I will say select count star from person. So as we have learned, When I say count star, it should give me the count of the number of records present. So here in this table, we have 5 records. So I should get the value 5. Yes, we are getting count star as 5. Okay. Now, let me just display. Yeah, this is my table. Let us count distinct values. So what happens when I say distinct values? Once again, let us count the city. Okay, so select. So I will use this instead of star. I will say select city from person. Sorry, I should have used city. So I'm counting the number of cities present, records for the city presence, which is obviously 5. Now, what happens if I use distinct here? If I use, which is also one of the functions. Okay, so select count distinct city. Like I said, if there is a repeated values, it is going to omit that and it is going to count only the remaining ones. So when I say that, I'm getting 4 because we have Bangalore repeated. So as you can see, count of city is 5. Actually, the number of records present in the city column is 5. But when I say the distinct city, I'm going to get the value 4. Also, just observe whatever the count city we are giving, the same is being given as the header here. And we have learned in the previous session that we can use the as command within quote and say that number of city if I'm using. Okay. Okay. So if at all I'm using as command with the double quotes number of city, I can change the header. Otherwise, by default, it will give whatever the value we have given here. After select, whatever value you have given will be taken as a column header. If at all you want to change it, you can use the as command, right? So this is your count. So we have done count, we have done with distinct. Let us do maximum. So let us once again see our table. Okay. So let me use the salary here. So select maximum of salary per person. Okay. So as you can see, the maximum salary present in this entire table is 35,000. That is why it is displaying maximum. Similarly, you can find out the minimum. I'm getting 25 as answer, which is correct. Then also I can use average. Okay, so average of all these salaries, when you total it and divide by 5, you will get 30,000. Also, you can find out the sum. Sum of the salary will be 1,50,000. Okay, so these are the different functions. Now you can also use it along with the group by function. So how am I going to use it? So minimum salary of a person, I'm using group by, I will say city. Just let city. So in this case, so see how this group by is working. I said that select city and minimum salary from person group by city. So what is happening here? As you can see, I have city Bangalore twice. And then one person is getting 25,000, another person is getting 35,000. Now Shumaga will get whether you put minimum, average, maximum, whatever you give a command, you will get 35,000 as an answer because we do not have any other record along with that. Similarly for other records, except for Bangalore, wherein we have 25,000 as and 35,000. So here we should have got 25,000 as an answer for Bangalore. Yes, we are getting 25,000 as an answer. Similarly, if I change this and make this as maximum, for Bangalore, I should get a different value. Okay, as you can see, I'm getting 35. If you want, what you can do is create a table where you will have multiple values for the same cities and you try and see how the values are going to change. Okay, so this is how we will use the group by clause along with the group by functionalities in a SQL. We can apply this on a table and retrieve the data we want, right? So that's all in today's session, students. Thank you for watching. Keep learning.